What's up, Dobsters, Dob Decahedrons, Dob Marlies? So I'm by it myself this week. As you can tell, I'm feeling better, not sick anymore. Well, I'm a little sick, but not that bad. My friend had an emergency situation, so he couldn't make it today. He'll be back next week. So I'll just go over some of what I did in our leagues this week. So in the challenge, as always, I'm 4-4. I won. It's like 150.80 to 78.45 right now. I have no one. He has no one. Roman Dunze had a goose egg. Goose. First time in his career. I didn't mess up anybody besides that, but I wasn't gonna bench Roman Dunze anyway, especially against Cincinnati. But anyway, I had Jared Goff who had 22.20 points, Drake London who had 34.30 points, and surprisingly, my linebackers and my defensive line totaled 28 points, which is pretty good for me. Struggling with those IDPs. The dude didn't have anyone under 20 points, and honestly, he's kind of the bottom feeder of the league. His team's name's Hank's Heroes. But yeah, the next one is Champions. I'm 3-5 currently. I won 155.35 to 97.70. I have no one. He has Kyler Murray, who is not playing tonight because he's playing Call of Duty or getting ready to. But yeah, he's out tonight. I guess he didn't trade for a quarterback or whatever. Hopefully he gets penalized because he could have traded for a quarterback. And challenge actually, one of our friends, he didn't have a quarterback and he traded for Joe Flacco. Wouldn't you know, Joe Flacco went off. But anyway, at least he tried. He went for a quarterback and this guy didn't, so he must be penalized, and we'll address it if our commissioner decides not to. We'll see what happens. Once again, I didn't have any mess ups hitting this efficiency. I feel like that's really key in dynasties, being efficient and putting in the right people at the right times. I had Brock Bowers. Excuse me. I had Brock Bowers who had 37.30 points, and then 3 linebackers total 22 points. So once again, hitting those IDPs. Love to see it. The dude I faced had Christian McCaffrey who had 31.80 points. The last league, Evans League, 4-4. I won 152.25 to 132.75. I have no one. He has no one going on tonight. Roman Dunze, goose egg. Sad to see. I did mess up. I could have played Caleb Williams, who had 52.80 points, Matt Stafford, who had 33.65 points, but I played Patrick Mahomes, going on a thought process that, hey, he has all of his receivers back and he's not going to have a bad game. Wrong. He had 14 points. That's okay. At least I still won. I could have also played Dalton Kincaid instead of, I guess, Rome Dunze, because I would have played Brock Bowers no matter what, and he scored a lot of points. But Dalton Kincaid scored 35.10 points. Like I said, I had Brock Bowers. He scored 58.30 points in this league. Kyle Manungai, 30.30 points, and JSN with 30 points. The dude I played had Justin Herbert, who had 33.95 points. Drake London, 48.30 points, and Amon Ra, who had 19.70 points. Some interesting, surprising, interesting, important snap shares of this week. Cincinnati, Chase Brown had 65 snaps. I didn't realize he was in the entire game. P. Ryan only had 1, and it's funny because I saw that 1 carry that he had. But he went from 25 snaps to 1 snap this week, which was really crazy because the Bears aren't really good at stopping the run. So, I mean, it was a close game anyway. Well, kind of at the end. I'll get to that on Thursday. Anyway, Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs dominated with 42 snaps at 66%, and Montgomery had 24 snaps at 38%. Looks like they tried something new, and it kind of bit them in the butt. Like they should have, Sonic and Knuckles, just run them both. But it seems that sometimes Detroit gets a little too carried away. Carried away. Anyways, too carried away on Jahmyr Gibbs and wants to, make him MVP. I don't know. Green Bay had five wide receivers at 20 snaps. I guess they did the same thing. Savion Williams had 20 plus snaps. That's kind of weird. He's not that great of a receiver. He's more of a return guy, but I guess they were trying something new and that fit them in. But which is good. No offense, sorry Packers fans, Bears fans, bear down. Anyway, Jacksonville, they split the running backs. Etienne had 46 snaps, LaQuint Allen Jr. had 22 snaps, and Bashal Tootin had 20 snaps. That's pretty interesting, actually. Not sure if Jacksonville's going to continue to do that. Liam Cohen loves his running backs, so I guess he's trying to see what he's got. But they also had 5 wide receivers at 20 snaps. So I don't know. I guess they were just trying out something new. I guess it paid off because they won in overtime. So good for them. The Rams, Kanata Mumfield had 30 snaps for 38%. Good for that guy. Looks like he's getting snaps now. So hopefully he does something. I do have him in one league, I believe. 4 tight ends had 25 snaps each, and my best friend, who's of course a Rams fan, I'll steal a thunder, but each of the 4 tight ends had 2 catches each, and that's, I guess, the first time in NFL history that 4 tight ends had 2+ catches in a game for the same team. Interesting. Las Vegas, they signed Tyler Lockett, and he had 19 snaps and 30%. That was kind of crazy. It looked like they went heavy on 2 tight end sets, so they're trying to get Michael Mayer more into the offense. It worked out for Geno Smith. I think he had 281 for 4 touchdowns, no picks. So maybe that's something to look to going forward. They'll play Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, so Michael Mayer might be a good pickup for Dynasty. New Orleans, Devin Neal had 16 snaps at 39%. It looks like they got dominated by our Rams, but it looks like they only had 40 snaps total because he had 16 and what's his name? Alvin Kamara only had 24. So I don't know. It's just interesting that they had Devin Neal step up a lot. New York Giants, Tyrone Tracy had 25 snaps at 44%, and Devin Singletary had 32 snaps at 56%. I don't know what they have against Tyrone Tracy, but it doesn't look like he's going to be the guy going forward. Now that we have Manun guy, I don't really care about trading for a running back, but I would have took Tyrone Tracy better than. I know DeAndre Swift. He's been doing well this year, but like I feel like this week our offense showed that we can run with, I guess, anyone. I'm not taking anything away from Manun guy, because Manun guy, I'll talk about this on Thursday. But anyway, Manun guy, shout out to you. You did great. Love you. Anyway, Washington, Chris Rodriguez had 22 snaps at 34%. So last week he had only 3 snaps. So they keep on flipping back and forth. Not sure, they're trying to figure out something. Maybe somebody's better with Jane Daniels, somebody's better with Marcus Mariota. Not sure what's going on there. This is why Jaden Daniels had a bad game. Treylon Burks sighting, 33 snaps at 51%. What are you doing, Washington? What are you doing? Really? 33 snaps for Treylon Burks? Shame. Bad. Just bad. All right. We'll go for top 5 this week. Quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, 40.50 points. Joe Flacco at 35.50 points. Josh Allen at 31.55 points. Sam Darnold at 30.50 points. And Justin Herbert at 30.20 points. Looks like we got some... I don't see really many frequent flyers. Maybe Justin Herbert. The other ones are fairly new. Caleb's and then on the list. Joe Flacco's actually been on here pretty often lately. He does have a great offense to work with, though, so not taking anything away from him. I'm actually a Flacco fan, but whatever. Running backs, Christian McCaffrey broke out, 31.80 points. Rico Dowdle had 27.10 points. Kyle Manungai had 21.30 points. Josh Jacobs had 18 points, and Ashton Genty had 17.40 points. Rico Dowdy still continues to be on this list. Like I said in the preseason, I don't know, I just felt something was good with Rico Dowdle and going to Carolina. Not saying Chuba Hubbard was bad, but I definitely didn't expect Rico Dowdy to have like this big of a seasons thus far. But it is what it is. I would sell high on him. That's right. We already have a sell high this early in the year. kind of halfway through the year, but for next year. Anyway, wide receivers, Drake London with his 3 touchdowns had 34.30 points. T. Higgins had 29.60 points. DJ Moore had 21 points. Devontae Adams had 20.50 points. And Puka Nacua had 19.30 points. Doesn't look like anybody that usually pops up on, I guess, Puka Nacua, but we just haven't talked about him in a while because he was injured 2 weeks ago and then he had a bye week last week. But he's a frequent flyer on these top 5 receivers. Tight ends, Brock Bowers with his 3 touchdowns, 37.30 points. Colston Loveland with 26.80 points. Dalton Kincaid with 19.10 points. Sam Laporta with 18.70 points. And Mark Andrews with 15.60 points. So let's go into who killed it this week. Geno Smith, here it is. Geno Smith had 29 of 39 for 284, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 5 rush for 9 yards. Caleb Williams, 20 of 34, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 5 rush, 53 yards, 2 receptions, 22 yards and a touchdown. It's funny, the one that he got the second, pretty much the 20 yards receiving was thrown by Tyson Bagent. That was pretty cool. Joe Flacco, 31 of 47, 470 yards. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 1 rush for -1 yards. Also, 0 receptions. Just putting it out there. Matt Stafford, 24 of 32, 284, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, 4 rush, -4 yards. And then, let's see here. Oh, I'm going to shout out to Cam Little, 68-yard field goal, and it could have definitely made it from at least 72, maybe even further. I was watching the Cowboys game just now. As you know, we tape the day prior, and Brandon Aubrey tried to hit a 68-yarder and just missed to the left, but he could have definitely made it from like 72 as well. Huge legs coming into the NFL. You love to see it, actually. To be honest, like what would be more awesome than like winning off like a 70-yard field goal? It's crazy. Crazy. We're living in crazy times. Anyways. Running backs, Christian McCaffrey, 28 rush, 106 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 receptions, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr. also, 5 rush, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Also, only on 9 snaps. They need to get him on the field more. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's doing, running Christian McCaffrey to the ground, but not my team. Well, whatever. From a fantasy perspective, this is not good for Christian McCaffrey owners. I don't know if you can, like, I would definitely say if you are not making the playoffs this year, or if you feel like you're on the fringe and you had McCaffrey, trade him to one of the contenders and try to get something good out of him. Just throwing it out there. I think that's what I would do. Aaron Jones, 9 rushed, 78 yards, 2 receptions, 20 yards. Kyle Manungai, 26 rush, 176 yards, 3 receptions, 22 yards. Rico Dowdy, 25 for 114 and a touchdown. Oh, sorry, that was Kyron Williams. Rico Dowdy, 25, 130 for 2 touchdowns. For receivers this week, Drake London, 9 receptions, 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Demario Douglas, 4 receptions, 100 yards even, and 1 touchdown. Alec Pierce with 6 receptions, 115 yards, and Michael Pittman with 9 receptions, 115 yards. T. Higgins, 7 receptions, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Romeo Dobbs, 7 receptions, 91 yards, and Parker Washington, 8 receptions, 90 yards. For tight ends, we got Oronde Gatson II, 5 receptions, 68 yards, still continuing to be consistent. Sam Laporta at 6 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Dalton Schultz finally showed up, 6 receptions, 77 yards. Colston Loveland, 6 receptions, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, 12 receptions, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns, plus 1 rush for 6 yards. And finally, Dalton Kincaid for 6 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. All right, so let's go for the people who, did not have a great week and probably made you mad. Cam Ward, 12 of 21 for 145 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, 2 rush, 6 yards. Bryce Young, 11 for 20, 102 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick, 2 rush, 9 yards. Not sure how they beat Green Bay, but I don't know. That's just terrible. I guess Rico Dowdy ran all over them, but I don't know. 11 for 20, terrible. Anyway, Kamani Vidal, 12 rush, 30 yards, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Jameer Gibbs, 9 rush, 25 yards, 3 receptions, 3 yards. Jonathan Taylor back on this list. 14 rush, 45 yards, 2 reception, 12 yards. And Alvin Kamara, 6 rush for 41 yards and 1 reception for 3 yards. Darnell Mooney, a frequent flyer on these, not doing so well. He is just not having a good season. Maybe him and Phoenix just don't have the connection that him and Kirk Cousins did, because he had a pretty good year last year, but not this year. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did say he was one of my, not sleepers, but people that you could get for cheap. And if you did that, sorry. But if you did, good job. This is why we're doing our best. DOB Dynasty. Doing our best. No experts. There are no experts. DK Metcalf, 2 receptions, 6 yards. Kind of surprised about that. Didn't expect that. Roma Dunze, once again, goose egg. Xavier Worthy, 3 receptions, 23 yards, and 1 rush for 7 yards. And then Chig Akadaku, 2 receptions for 10 yards. And then Evan Ingram, I'm pretty sure this is he's getting up to Kate Otten territory. I think this is a second goose egg for Evan Ingram. Goose eggs all around. That's all I have for this week. Usually our show's longer because, me and my friend banter a little bit. I do have something to talk about with so obviously we saw Jaden Daniels got injured yesterday. Luckily it was his left arm, not his throwing arm. But he should be out like a couple weeks. So I'm wondering, I do have a chance. I know I'm 3-5, but I'm about to be 4-5. I'm actually in 6th place, which would make the playoffs and champions. And I'm wondering if I should trade him and get picks, because I don't really have any since I kind of went all in this year, or if I should trade for my nemesis Aaron Rodgers from a team who's 2-6 and see if I can squeak some wins out of there. I have a couple of days to decide. I'm going to be in trade talks for the next couple of days. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't really want to trade Jaden McDaniels. He did get injured twice this year, but I'm not necessarily worried about his injuries, to tell you the truth. I think Jaden Daniels is pretty capable and pretty good. I don't think he's going to be, like a consistent, like Jordan Love or something like that. Like Jordan Love is consistent. I think Jaden Daniels will have like big games, which actually sometimes is more important. I guess that's what I wanted to bring up too, to my second point. So leave comments if you think I should trade Jaden Daniels or keep him and trade for Aaron Rodgers, or do both. Make a trade with Jaden Daniels or Aaron Rodgers and then get some picks with that. Anyway, the second point is this is why, like, the huge games to Drake London, to Brock Bowers, who get 3 touchdowns. I know this is first time in Drake London's career and Brock Bowers' career, but in relevance, when they have these huge 37-point games, 34 and 37-point games, like sometimes you need those when you have like a Roman Dunze who gets a goose egg. You have that makeup of those players who get those huge games. So sometimes it's good to have those players who show out for like those 4 to 6 games and then are consistent the rest of the year with 12 to 18 points. So it's important to always have one of those players on your team. Luckily in Challenge I have Drake London, and Champions I have Brock Bowers, so works out perfectly that way. I also have JSN, who is capable of doing that as well. But he's just consistent all the way through. He's kind of like Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, etc. Puka Nacua. My friend would never let me forget that one. But anyway, that's just what I want to talk about this week. So this is the part where I'm going to talk about basketball. If you all don't want to hear about basketball, no worries. But leave us comments or let us know anything that you want us to talk about for future episodes of football. All right, so let's get to basketball. Week 2, the average for are for the guards this week. Luka Doncic leads away at 69.45 points. Tyrese Maxey at 66.90 points. Austin Reeves at 63.03 points. Norman Powell at 56.42 points. And Devin Booker at 56.02 points. For the forwards, we have Giannis at 73.67 points. He's gonna do this every week in the 70s, and it's ridiculous. Lauri Markkanen, 61.89, finally coming out of his shell. Paolo Banchero, 55.53 points. Kawhi Leonard, 52.92 points. And Evan Mobley at 51.44 points. The true sinners this week, Wemby. Wemby had his worst game the other day. 9 points, 9 rebounds. I think like 4 blocks. That's still like a lot of points in like fantasy, but one of his worst games. I'm surprised to see that. Anyway, for week 2 sinners, Wemby 72.62 points, Jokic at 69.99 points. Might as well put a 70, whatever. Alpern Şengün at 48.14 points, Chet Holmgren at 47.55 points, and Nikolai Vucevic at 47.54 points. So surprises for the season, not just week 2, but for the season, who is leading the league in points. Austin Reeves is surprisingly 6th in the league. Lauri Markkanen is 8th in the league. Julius Randle is 11th in the league. Benedict Mathurin is 13th in the league. Josh Giddey is 14th in the league. Norman Powell is 21st in the league. Nikolai Vucevic is 22nd in the league. Keontae George is 32nd in the league. Mikal Bridges at 36th in the league. He had a couple of good games in week 2. Drew Holiday at 38th. Alex Sarr at 40th. And Ronnie Rollins at 49th. Made it to the top 50. So that's just a basketball recap this week. I'm, let's see, 1-1 in both leagues that matter, and then I joined a random Yahoo one, and I'm 2-0 in that one. My team's not bad. I have a lot of these players. Shout out to randomly, there's this guy on Locked On Basketball that I listen to a lot. His name is Josh Lloyd. If you ever get a chance to listen to him, he's funny. He's a what I like to call a cheeky bastard. He's Australian, and he's funny to listen to. He knows his stuff. He uses a lot of analytics, super in-depth. But shout out to Josh Lloyd. If you ever see this video, you're doing a great job. Love you, man. But anyway, that's it for this week. Let us know, like I said, anything that you want us to talk about, including basketball too. We can go more into basketball if you want us to. But let us know what you want for football, and let me know what you think about trading Jaden Daniels, keeping him. Should I trade him? Should I keep him? 6-7. No, just kidding. Anyway, just let me know what y'all think. Peace.